What is going on, everybody? The original Mako back with some more Gunfire Reborn content. And if you're watching this video on the day it goes up, happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. And also, today is new content day for Gunfire, but because it's Thanksgiving, I'm not here. So the first new content video should be up tomorrow, and hopefully it's fun. Hopefully there's some good stuff. There's a very, very small chance I stream tomorrow night, or tonight, the day you're watching this. Probably not going to happen. So most likely Friday will be our first stream with the new stuff. So come check out the Twitch, which is down below if you want to see me stream all the new stuff. Also, if you want to join the people who are on screen right now, you can become a member on YouTube today. I'd really appreciate it. It helps out the channel a lot, and there's a bunch of unique perks and stuff that come with it. So I would really appreciate it if you check that out as well. That being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video, which, as you could probably tell from the title, is a tier list, but it's only elemental weapons. So it's going to be, since we're not basing this off of every weapon, just the elemental weapons, they might be in some different spots. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a different video for each elemental type. Today we're starting with what I think is the weakest elemental type in terms of the weapons themselves, lightning weapons. So we're going to be going through all those, putting them on a tier list and seeing kind of where they fall. All of these are non-elemental weapons. The talisman is obviously all three, so I'm just going to rank it at the end during the fire elemental tier list video. But yeah, we're going to start with the lightning weapons. And first and foremost, we're just going to go right down the line here, I think. We've got the lightning kunai, which is new and one of the better weapons in this category. So, like I said, how I'm going to do this is for each elemental type, it's going to be like its own separate thing. Okay, so like, for example, this lightning kunai, I'm giving it an A. Is it an A overall? Yeah, it's close, honestly. But as a lightning weapon, it is an A. Or as an elemental weapon, it is an A. It does a great job of, it has decent damage output. The spreading lightning damage is obviously fantastic. The big thing for me with lightning weapons is, with lightning weapons, you can cause miasma. And that's their big thing, honestly. So anything that can help kind of spread that damage out a little bit is super useful, and this does a great job of it. The right click is super fun to use. You get a lot of chain lightning with the right click. Does good damage. Overall, just a very, very solid weapon, and that's why we're putting it at A. Next up, maybe I should have reordered these a little bit. We have the pupil, which 100% is the star of the lightning weapon category. It hits hard. It has a ton of projectiles. It has great synergies. It does great for doing miasma damage because you have so many projectiles. There's not much to say that's bad about this weapon. I mean, overall, it's a great weapon, but as a lightning weapon and in terms of doing what a lightning weapon should do, it does a fantastic job of it. So 100% S tier for the pupil. Next, we have the flowing light, the sword. As a lightning weapon, it's going in the who designed this tier. I don't know what to tell you. It does no damage. It does abysmal damage. Not super good at spreading out lightning damage. You will get a lot of elemental effects because it's a sword and they have high elemental proc chances, but you're not spreading that out very often or very much. So with melee weapons, you have to get in close, which means you're put at a disadvantage to a lot of enemies because you have to be right on top of them. It's just not, as a lightning weapon, it is not good and not a very good choice unless you are using it as a secondary weapon, like your main weapon is a corrosive weapon and you want to get miasma, so you're doing the Gemini where you share elemental effects, then this is a good option. But as a weapon you would use, no. I would never, ever touch this in pretty much any run to actually use it. Next up, we have the Star Devourer. Star Devourer. I'm going to bump it into D, and here's why. If you're new, very new to the game, very, very new, like first few runs, Start of Hour is actually great. It's one of the better, like, it's a weapon that it's guaranteed to drop on like your first run because of its unlock requirement. I forget what it is, but you get it very, very, very quickly in your first run. And it's a decent weapon for normal mode on your first run when you don't have a lot going for you. So usually, at least for a while, I haven't kept up with it, but when you would do fresh file speedruns, the Start of Hour is actually a big part of that strategy. Outside of that, like, once again, this is coming from the opinion of somebody who plays pretty much just Reincarnation 8. The Start of Hour is absolutely useless. It's pretty useless outside of that. It does awful damage. I'm not a fan of the fact that you don't manually reload it. It just kind of resets over time. And it doesn't have a great elemental proc chance and no way to really spread it around. So, I mean, the upsides are it's great on normal, and you're guaranteed to get it on like your first run. So your first run's going to be really cool with it, most likely. I don't have any more. Outside of that, it's just not a good weapon. So D tier for that one. Next up, we have the Lightning Blast, which will be just going into F tier. And another big key point here, not only is this coming from the opinion of somebody who just plays Reincarnation 8, but pretty much exclusively plays solo as well. So, the right click on the Lightning Blast, which allows things that pass through it to deal more damage, is definitely better in co-op or multiplayer. It is. It's better. I still don't think it's good because it's stationary and small, and 99% of the time you're playing Gunfire, you want to be moving around constantly to avoid damage, so you can't really have all of your projectiles focused through a very small stationary area. But it is still better in multiplayer. But in single player, it's just about useless. And the left click doesn't hit super hard, not going to be getting a ton of shock procs, and it's just a very, very weak weapon. The damage output's it's just not there. It's not going to be there. Even if you are able to use the right click, the damage output is still not there with this weapon. So I got to put it in F tier. Once again, the only reason it's above something like the sword is because at least you could play from range. So you could play a battle of attrition if you really wanted to, and it feels just better to use than the sword, but it doesn't have the advantage of being a very good first few run weapon like the Start of Hour is. The Lightning Blast just doesn't get the job done in that category. Next up, we have the Thunderstorm, which we're going to move up a little bit. I'm going to put it in C. We are spreading it out here. Holy. I'm going to put the Thunderstorm in C because the right-click mechanic to like instantly break shields is interesting and has some good uses, but not a lot. It's very specific uses, and the left click, it can hit a little bit, but once again, the damage output is not good. It's okay. It's better than the Start of Hour and Lightning Blast, but it's not great. So that's why I can't move it up any, and once again, because the right click is so like scenario based with when you want to be really using it, I just can't really find a way in my head to move this into like a B tier because I don't think it belongs into the B tier. But it is an okay choice for a lightning weapon to actually use. And if you're trying to like do miasma, it's not your best choice because it's not going to spread the lightning damage out super well, but it's okay. It's not terrible. Next up, we have the Lightning Sauna. I'm going to put this in F. I don't think I can put it in the who designed this. Once again, the big thing with the swords is just the fact that if you're going to be using them, you have to be super far back. Like or if you're going to be using them, you have to be super far up. So you can't play back. And against a lot of enemies, it's a big problem. But anyway, F tier for the Lightning Kasana because once again, I don't play multiplayer. So the shield that you can give is useless. It's pointless. Second, I have never seen a sniper that is so awful at outputting damage. In Reincarnation 8, this thing tickles enemies as a sniper rifle in the first area. In the first area, it's tickling enemies with a sniper. As a sniper, that's terrible. And since it's a slow fire rate weapon, you're not going to be able to spread out your miasma or your shock elemental effect super well. So for me, I just can't do it. I can't. This is one of my least favorite weapons in the entire game. It's not good. I'm not a fan. F tier for lightning weapons. I would put it in who designed this, but I think because you could at least play back and play more defensively if you needed to, that's why it's going to go into F. And last, but certainly not least, we have the lightning gloves, which is going to complete our spreading of lightning weapons. I'm not kidding you. This is legit how I feel about these weapons. But it's going to go into B tier. It would be like a C or D tier if it wasn't for the fact that the lightning glove spreads a lot. It's in terms of spreading out your lightning damage. The lightning kunai is very good at it, but the lightning glove is the best at it. And like I said, because I think the lightning weapons are kind of the weakest elemental type, or at least the weakest weapons that are elemental, your main objective a lot of times with a lightning weapon is going to be to spread out miasma or to cause miasma damage. And the lightning glove is a great way to do that consistently. If you're on the cat, you've got your smoke grenades, you've got a lightning glove, and you are spreading out a lot of miasma damage to a lot of different enemies. And since that's one of the main key points, in my opinion, for a lightning weapon, and this very much excels at it, it slots it up 1, maybe even 2 tiers up into B. Why is it not higher? The damage output's awful. It's terrible. I said this thing was tickling enemies. This thing is like I don't even know how I could describe it. Like a million single cell organisms trying to take down a gorilla. It's awful. So that's why it's not going to go up any higher. But I do think it deserves to be B just because of the spreadage that you have with the lightning effect because of this glove. So that's it for the lightning weapons. Once again, we're going to do a different video for each type of weapon. And it might be a minute before we get to the corrosive and fire because obviously we've got new content coming up. But I did want to put up the first part of this set of 3 videos. So hopefully you enjoyed it. But thank you guys for watching once again. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving or even if you're not and you just have some time off, hopefully you're enjoying some time with friends, family, loved ones, and eating a bunch of food. So enjoy it. I will be back streaming on Friday, and there should be a new video up tomorrow with some of the new content. So I'll be interested to hear what you guys are feeling, how you guys are feeling about the new stuff. And I'm excited to try it out for myself. So regardless, hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for the support as always. I love each and every one of your faces, and I will catch you all in the next video.